Now let's summarize. We already take a look for different architecture style, and now is the question, what kind of architecture style should we choose? There is no short and gold answer that always choose this one or this one. In general, it depends from different factors. But let's try to highlight which factors you should take into the account when you making the decision to choose one of the architectural styles. First, you have to pay attention that the preferred architectural style shift over time, and it is driven by a number of factors, such as observations from the past. What means observations from the past? You as a person who will make the decision in which way we will design the system, you will be influenced by your past experience, by your past decisions. It means for example, previously you made some decision, you build the system in one way, you use one of the architectural styles, and you know that you faced with some issues, maybe it was you failed the project, or perhaps you will not, but let's imagine. So, and you know that we shouldn't move in this way. So based on your experience from the past, or maybe you vice versa, you know that that decision was correct and we should do the same things right now. So observation from the past. Changes in ecosystem, particularly this area, software design, it is changed dramatically. Even technologies are coming, and ecosystem is always changed. Before, everything was deployed on premise nowadays, and no one hear about the Kubernetes. Nowadays, Kubernetes is one of the most used tool for the environment, and so on. New capabilities. New capabilities, it means also when new capabilities rise, you may not be able to replace one tool with another, but rather shift the way how you will implement. For example, when the Docker was introduced, it significantly affect how the software was designed since that moment, that everything can be wrapped into the container inside of the Docker. Acceleration. Not only does the ecosystem constantly change, but the rate of change also continues to rise. New tools create new engineering practices, which lead to new design and capabilities. Domain changes. Domain that developers write software for constantly shift and changes. So you have to also pay attention for this when you make a decision. Technology changes. Technology continues to evolve, and always companies try to keep in time and keep up with the latest changes in technologies. Some external factors can influence for your decision. It means that you can design perfect system which will use which will be looks quite well, but some tool cannot be used, or license agreement cannot allow you to use one of your decisions, and so on and so on. So there is also external factors that will influence to your decision. Architects should also go into the design decision comfortable with the following things. So it means that when you will make the decision, you have to have some level of competency, of knowledge in next things. First, it is the domain. It doesn't mean that you have to be expert in each domain. It's not possible to know each of the domain. But if you don't have any ideas what this domain is about, then it will be quite hard to make the correct decision. So at least you have to know some specific some basic things in the domain that you are going to design the system. Architecture characteristics that impact the structure. You must discover and investigate these architectural characteristics needed to support the domain, or other external factors has higher priority. Data architecture. It means this is also one of the key points, that you have to work with databases, schemas, and other data-related concerns. So you have to investigate what is your data, how you with which data will work. You will design to the system for which the data. What else? Organizational factor. Many external factors may influence design. For example, the cost of particular cloud vendor may prevent the ideal design, or perhaps the company plans to engage in mergers and acquisitions. Knowledge of process, team, and operational concerns. Many specific project factors influence an architect's design, such as software developer process, interaction with operations, or lack of these interactions, QA process, how they looks like, and so on. Domain and architecture isomorphism. Some problem domains match the topology of the architecture. For example, the microkernel architecture style is perfectly suitable to a system that require customization, and you can use it to you will be able to plug in some custom things. And, what else? Yeah, taking all these things into account, the architects must make several determinations. Monolithic or distributed. So what should be what is more preferable in one of the case? Where should data live? It means if the architecture is monolithic, architects commonly assume a single relational database or a few of them. If in a distributed architecture, you must decide which service should persist data, which also implies thinking about how data must flow through the workflows. And what communication style between services, synchronous or asynchronous? Once you determine data partitioning, the next design consideration is the communication between services. We already talked about it. I believe you remember. So synchronous communication is more convenient in most cases, but it can lead to scalability, reliability, and other characteristics. Asynchronous communication can provide some benefit in terms of performance and scale, but can present a host of so it can lead to deadlocks, to race conditions, and it will be hard to debug. This is generally all that you have to pay attention. Maybe, of course, there can be additional things that is not mentioned here. Of course, we didn't cover all possible architectural styles or all possible patterns, but we are trying to cover most important and most popular that can be used. By the way, during you will work some practicing task, you can use maybe additional one that we didn't consider before. Why not? Go ahead, you can try. And that's all for this part.